So I was diagnosed. Oh God, how old was I? I was 1 when I was diagnosed. So this was in 1995, and I was diagnosed with a disease, disorder, whatever you want to call it, called mucopolysaccharidosis, or in most people's terms, Morquio. It is a recessive genetic disorder that I am missing. Essentially, I am missing an enzyme that breaks down basic sugars. So my body then stores those sugars in my joints. And because of that, my ligaments are very loose. So my ankles are very loose. So are my ankles, knees, wrists, pretty much anywhere that you have joints. So yeah, I was diagnosed in 1995, and I've been living with it since birth, really. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to mucopolysaccharidosis.
Yep.
Wild name.
Yes.
And for the folks that are just listening and don't see this right now, I said little body because you have a very small stature.
Yes.
Which I'm guessing is based on this inability to break down sugars. So how, like, if you were able to stand up on your very loose ankles,
yep.
how tall would you measure out to be?
I'm 3'2".
3'2".
Yeah.
Wow. And is it that, like, so when your body's storing these sugars in those joints, is that preventing? Is that what is the cause of, like, you not growing taller?
Yeah, and plus, like my vertebrae in most people, they're cubes, but in me they're football shapes. So my spine is also unstable.
I would say so.
Yes.
Holy shit! Can you imagine trying to you take a stack of poker chips?
Yeah.
Pretty easy to stack them pretty high.
Yeah.
You take a stack of footballs. Are we
Have you ever
talking
seen
footballs?
how easy it is to fumble a football?
Are we talking about footballs shaped like
Footballs.
like vertical or horizontal?
Vertical.
Oh, yeah, well,
Wait,
good
standing
fuck,
on their,
good
like,
fucking
footballs standing on their heads.
Yeah. So essentially,
wow.
Yeah.
That's
Isn't it crazy?
wild.
I think what immediately struck me when you started talking about the origins of your condition is that, and we've heard this probably a handful of times from like various things that people deal with, is when your body doesn't do something that strikes you as like super, sort of like simple or basic, like something that everybody would just take for granted, like
foundational.
Like foundational. It's just like, it's like, breakdown of sugar. It's like, there's sugar in basically everything in some form that you put inside your body. And like, just how little we know about how much we rely on our system to do something once that sugar enters our body to like perform a certain task, and how something like just like a break in a chain somewhere can cause a whole like world of stuff that until you sit down and talk with somebody who lives with that issue, you just go, oh my God, I never knew that something so simple, something so basic like that could have such a profound effect.
Like if I didn't meet Natasha first and you told me that somebody didn't have the ability to break down sugar in their body, my first assumption would not be, oh, that means that they're probably a little person.
I'd go, they're diabetic.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, do you, so because of this issue where the protein doesn't break down the sugars properly, are you supposed to avoid sugars?
No. Not at all.
Are you supposed to jack up your sugar content?
No. I can eat just like an average human being.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
So Morquio Syndrome.
Yeah.
I've got like a list of some of the sort of characteristics that you'll typically see with someone living with Morquio. You have short stature, which check, you've got that. All right.
For sure.
Flexible joints. I saw a video of you. I don't know if you're probably like not allowed to do it, but I saw a video of you waving your wrist around like a helicopter.
Like that?
No.
Yeah, I'm not technically supposed to do that.
Hey,
It's a fun party trick.
I'm glad you humored us and did it for us.
Can you do the thing where you like bend your wrist back and touch your fingers to the back of your arm?
Oh
my god!
Was that
Oh my god, I heard it. I heard it so viscerally.
was that actually the sound?
No,
Was that joint crunching? Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Oh my goodness, I hope so.
God,
Yeah.
Natasha.
I don't want any legal blowback.
Holy shit. What else do we got? We also have knock knees, so knees that kind of turn and knock in.
Yep.
Growth abnormalities of the wrist, so like sort of I guess like bulbous growths, kind of like growth, like
I don't know how well you can see it, but
yeah.
I do have a bit of, I call it my Morquio bump on my wrists and my ankles, because that's just the joint building up with all the
Right.
Sugars and stuff.
Right.
It sounded like
Man.
you just blasted that apart. Just
Yeah,
a moment ago.
Yeah.
That bump just got a little fucking
Looser if possible.
many more bumps. We also have scoliosis, which I mean, like,
That makes sense.
yeah, you got football spine, so that makes sense. And then coarse facial features, so like the structure of your face is a unique part of the syndrome itself too. I mean, it's so interesting. This is one of the first times. This is the first time I've ever heard of it. This is the first time we ever spoke to someone with it.
It is a very rare disorder.
Yeah, I would say so. And so I assume that like most people would have just assumed your whole life that you are that you suffer from like dwarfism.
That's true.
But this is technically not. Is it considered a form of dwarfism, or it's not even in the
I
same
don't
realm?
think it's even in the same wheelhouse as dwarfism.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're right.
And so is this how does this is there a genetic factor?
It's like CF. Both parents have to be carriers of the Morquio gene.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, and so do you have siblings, and do they have Morquio syndrome?
My older brother, Demian, does have Morquio, but my two younger sisters do not.
Okay, fascinating. Wow. And how much older is your brother?
He's 2 years older than me. So he's
Okay.
30. Yeah, he turned 33 the other week.
So when you were diagnosed, your parents already knew that your brother had this?
Well, they actually started the diagnosis process with my brother. And then because I was 1 at the time, because he was 3, I was 1. So I was going in with my parents. And they looked at the doctors or whoever looked at me and said, why don't we test her at the same time?
Right.
So-
Yeah.
Okay.
And was it sort of obvious looking at, like, could you tell looking at your 3-year-old brother at the time that like something developmentally in terms of like growth was not right?
Yeah, because at the time, and I don't know if any of you have done this, but my parents were tracking our growth on the door frame going into our bedroom. So my brother stopped growing or wasn't growing as quickly as your average person would at that age. So they knew something was wrong.
But up until that, was it like, hey, okay, like maybe he's not as tall, but there was no other like obvious signs that like, the wrist, like when you showed us your wrist now, there's more of that, what you refer to as your Morquio bump. I'm assuming that wasn't there because the sugars hadn't had the time to like build up into
That's probably
that
correct.
sort of shape.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just doing a quick like Google search here of Morquio syndrome.
Oh no.
Mucopolysaccharidosis
The dreaded Google search.
is I mean it is interesting. It gives a little bit more of a kind of dialed in perspective here. It's a group of rare inherited metabolic disorders characterized by the body's inability to break down certain sugar molecules called glycosaminoglycans,
Sure, yeah.
or
That's how you pronounce it.
GAGs.
Yeah, there you go.
This enzyme deficiency leads to a buildup of GAGs in cells and tissues, causing progressive damage to bone, cartilage, the heart, and other organs, often resulting in physical and sometimes neurological symptoms.
Yeah.
The severity and specific symptoms can vary significantly between many different types of Morquio syndrome, with some impacting the brain and others affecting primarily the body. So the brain part, is that something that you've found has affected you? And if so, how?
My brain is not affected at all.
Okay.
Yeah, Morquio is
So-
the only one out of those mucopolysaccharide conditions that there is no brain impairment at all.
Oh, I see. Okay, so
Yeah.
so Morquio is one of
Yeah, I
a
think
series
there's
of those.
7 of them.